I am Laura Hart, the CEO and founder of Robofund, and I am so happy to have my colleagues with me from the NIA organization, NIA Community Services Network. And I have Annette Velez and Sarah Harlow. And believe it or not, how are you both?
Great. How are you, Laura?
I'm good. Believe it or not, we've worked together for over 8 years running incredible programs together. And that's cool.
It is.
I am going to do a few housekeeping things about Robofund for those of us in our audience, those of you in our audience who may not know what we do. We run creative computer programs for children, and we run them in a number of locations. We have a studio on the Upper West Side of Manhattan, and right now our big thrust is summer camp, which starts in about 5 weeks for us. We also right now are running after school. And if you have a child who I think I might want to look at that summer camp, but my kid needs to see it a little bit, come and spend an after school with us and you'll get the flavor for what we do. Our whole sort of tagline is creative, effective learning with children, having them leave our program, it's loving to learn. And if you go to robofund.org, you can sign up. I send out a blog twice a week. I'm a mom of a now older child, but I put lots of hints and tips and tricks. My child is one that is typically in our programs very bright, very quirky, and we tend to accommodate those kids who might have some ADHD, different things, but in our programs, we work to have them have an amazing time, and generally they do. So my work with Annette and Sarah is to run these same amazing programs, not in the Robofund studio, but in underserved schools in the New York City area, primarily at this point in Brooklyn, but we may expand that work to Staten Island and Queens, which both Annette and Sarah have locations there as well. So tell us generally, what is NIA Community Services Network, Annette?
Well, NIA, we are a multi-service, not-for-profit organization. We're based in Brooklyn, but as you mentioned, we work throughout the boroughs throughout New York City. And we were founded in 1981 as a real grassroots community-based organization. And throughout the years, really throughout the last 10 to 15 years mainly, have seen tremendous growth from those beginning times. And today we serve nearly 50 New York City public schools, providing daily after-school programming. And we provide lots of wonderful, valuable services to the communities we serve, ranging from support for senior citizens, family counseling services, community referrals to things like social services and other vital needs. Sarah, do you have anything to add as well?
Sure. We also, in recent years, have done a lot of community events. So bringing fun things to the communities in Brooklyn, whether it's big festivals at Halloween and things like that, or we do a summer concert series in Bay Ridge. So that's been also really growing and something fun for our families.
And I believe the numbers now are something like 15,000 served annually through our services, which is really incredible to see on paper.
That's amazing. That is very, very exciting. So, Annette and literally, I think I have worked with you both for over 8 years.
Yeah.
Annette, why don't you start by telling us a little bit about your background? How did you end up at NIA, and what are you doing now?
Sure. So I have been with NIA actually since 2007, so about 15 years now. And I started out as a part-time line staff worker in one of their after-school programs because I had plans to become an elementary school teacher. And I said, hey, I better get some experience working with children. And that experience taught me very quickly that the classroom did not feel like the right fit for me, but the nonprofit lesson. Absolutely. But the nonprofit world did. And I really valued the leadership opportunities that it presented. And so I stayed with NIA and went on a program director for their after school program sites, and then later to director of program operations, where I was responsible for overseeing all of their after school partnerships. And to give you an idea of our growth at that time, that was 2009. At that time, I was overseeing 6 after school program sites. And today we have nearly 50 school partners, as I mentioned, and that's happened in a relatively short amount of time. today, as Executive Operations Director with NIA, I still have a daily hand in supporting our after-school program sites, but also help to oversee general operations of the organization. So everything from HR to fiscal and everything in between. And it's just been an absolute pleasure to be along for the ride with NIA, and have along the way really built an incredible team. And Sarah is one of those incredible team members. And I think that the team that we've built has helped to keep us all invested and really tied to the organization for so long.
That's amazing. From overseeing, did you say 2 programs to 50?
It was 6
Right.
at first. And but
Yeah,
You must have a very strong team.
we absolutely do.
we do.
So Sarah, what is your role at NIA?
So I am Director of Development and Communications, but as with Annette, I've been with the organization for a long time, and I actually came into the nonprofit sector from the teaching world. So I had been a classroom teacher, and my first role at NIA was also as a director of an after-school program, one of those 6 programs that Annette was talking about in 2009. And then after that, I moved into an office role. I worked as director of education for a long time for NIA. I've done various partnership building and grant writing over time as well. And as I mentioned, I'm currently director of development and communications, where I get to work with our executive team, both in terms of securing funding, but also just helping build new partnerships, helping maintain current partnerships, and making sure we're able to continue to make the impact in all the communities we serve. So that's kind of what it's been like for me.
That's great. So what are the communities that you serve? Like, I mean, I know Brooklyn, Queens, Staten Island.
Yes.
What areas in those?
So kind of all over Brooklyn at this point.
Okay. All right.
Like Annette mentioned, it is, in its origins, a small grassroots organization that sort of was nestled in that area between Bay Ridge and Bensonhurst and Dyker Heights, and then kind of grew out from there. So we have programs in Coney Island, we have programs in Canarsie, we have programs in Borum Hill and Cobble Hill, we have programs in Park Slope, we've had programs, I guess, just all over the whole borough, basically. And then we do have a program out in Corona, Queens, as well as a program in Staten Island right now. So we're just, very happy to have had the opportunity to be in so many different neighborhoods and continue to grow.
That's really interesting to hear. So one of the things I love to do on my heart to heart is hear why and how you, is there anything in your childhood that really influenced you to go, oh, I want to work with kids, and then to fine tune the how? Does anything come to mind, Sarah?
Sure. I mean, I think for myself, at least my own mother was a big influence on me, really. She not only was a teacher, but just also was somebody who spent her whole life, and to this day, even in retirement, just volunteering and doing things in the service of others. And I think that just seeing her do that and set that example was a huge impact on my life. And just, I think she also just really instilled in me a lot of gratitude for the things I do have in life, and just wanting to share that with others and bring those positive experiences to other children. I feel really grateful for the education I had and the teachers I had that helped me along the way. And I think that that's been a huge part of it as well, like both her influence, but then also, other teachers, both from elementary school all the way through college, that were impactful in my life.
That's cool. That's great to hear. Where did you both go to college?
So I went to Wesleyan University in Connecticut,
Yep.
and then I did my graduate in education at DePaul University in Chicago. So.
My son's about to start a master's program at DePaul.
Oh, fantastic. That's great.
Yes.
I actually went to Hunter College right here in New York City. I'm New York City public schooled from kindergarten on, and very proud of it.
That's great. That's great. So, what particular, when I think about my work, there's particular stories that come to mind where I know I'm doing things that help children, and this feels really good to me. Are there any things that come to mind, Annette, for your work where you're like, wow, that resonates? So,
what comes to mind first and foremost, I mentioned the team that we've been so lucky to build from our staff. And one of the things that we're so proud of and so excited about is that several of those staff members now are former program participants. So children who we served years ago in elementary school, in middle school, who felt so seen and so welcomed and so valued in NIA programs that they came back and volunteered as high school students, as teenagers. Then when they were able to start working with us as paid employees, they signed on for their first jobs with us. And now we have folks who are in management positions, leadership positions on our staff, helping to steer the organization and continue serving other children and paying it forward. And to me, that speaks volumes. The fact that our programs impacted their lives so deeply that they decided to stick around and grow with us in that way. I think that has really shown the impact that we've made for them.
That's a very moving story. That's fantastic. So, Sarah, does anything come to mind for you?
I mean, I think, that has also been really special for me to see some of those folks grow with the organization over time, and just how many people stay with the organization over time. And, one of the things I used to do with NIA was a lot of professional development work and seeking out new opportunities for our staff. And so that definitely is true for me as well. But I think also just anytime I get to go to the programs and visit the kids again is what is so special for me, because the kids, the students themselves are really what brought me into this work. And even most recently, one example is we did a huge literacy campaign this winter, and we gave away just thousands of books for kids to take home, and started after school libraries. And we brought 12 different authors into the schools to get a chance to read their books aloud to kids, and the kids got to do Q&A with them. And I think that just seeing the kids be like, oh, it's a real life author, and then just hearing the questions they had to ask it was so much fun for me. And I think experiences like that, where we're bringing new people into the schools and into their lives, or whether it's we're taking the kids on trips. I remember years ago now going with one of the programs to see a Broadway show, and just how amazed the kids were to go there and be there, or just going and experiencing something different than what's part of their everyday has been special to me. That's
great. I'm just going to add that for me, I've been teaching in Staten Island one day a week, because we're getting closer to hiring somebody. And at first I was in, it's a kind of haul, but now it's almost my favorite afternoon of the week. And this week I had to not go, and it's this afternoon, and something came up that I have to do. And I worked on that lesson plan, because I really now care so much about these kids, and I wanted them to have a great 2-hour session. So it's the kids that keep us happy, keep us going. So that's an important part of all of this. So where does most of your funding come from?
Well, a lot of our funding is either city funding or state funding. So we have a large number of Sonic and Compass programs through DYCD, as well as 2 Beacon Community Centers. We also have some different state funding, both Empire and Advantage state funding. And so that's for our after school programming. A huge amount of where the funding comes from are all of our city and state funding streams, which is so vital to kids. So it's been really how we've been able to grow, and how we've been able to continue to support more and more communities. I would say that's the biggest piece of, certainly with the after school funding.
Right. I mean, this is not my world. What about your work with senior citizens or with counseling? Where does that come from?
A lot of that comes also through OCFS or DFTA. So for seniors, the Department for the Aging, and then for our family counseling things, those are usually funded through OCFS. Sometimes some discretionary from City Council and things can be put towards seniors, or some of our other social services support. So that's, again, it's a lot of public funding. We are actually gearing up for a fundraiser that we're having. We're having a 5K. It's actually our second annual NIA 5K, but it's our first in-person one, because last year we had to have it be a virtual event. So now we're all going to be coming together along Shore Road in Bay Ridge on May 21st. Laura, if you want to drop in the chat, we have a bit.ly link. If anyone's interested in learning more about the event, they can come out and join us. It's open to the community. We tried to keep the registration very low, so it's $15 for adults to participate. For kids in our programs, we had a wonderful partner with Run for Fun, and they're helping us waive the fee for any student entries. So we're really excited. We hope people will come out and just check it out, be a part of it, and So that's one of the ways that we're raising a little money this spring. So we're excited about that.
That's cool. That's very cool. So one other thought that I have is, do you have summer youth employment programs?
Annette, do you want to speak to that a bit?
So we have applied for summer youth employees this summer through the city's expanded initiative this year, and we hope to employ very many of them. We're going to be running, I believe it's 27 summer camps this year through New York City's Summer Rising initiative, which we are both very excited and a bit terrified about. That's far more summer programs than typically we do see, but we're really well versed in those strong collaborations with our school partners, principals, administrative teams, and we're just so pleased to be able to provide the programming across so many new communities this summer that don't typically get to benefit from it. So we're hiring for summer if anyone is interested. You can find our job postings on Indeed, and we welcome anyone looking to begin their first job working with children, or teaching artists, those looking to share their specialties with us, and welcome continuing to work with wonderful groups like Robofund for additional services as well.
That's great. That's great. So do you also hire DOE teachers in the summer?
We do. Yeah.
Throughout the school year as well. And that actually really helps to provide wonderful consistency for the kids in our programs when they get to see their favorite teacher from the school day staying on to do their favorite after school club. That can really make a difference in having them feel comfortable. So that's something we encourage across all our programs.
I think that blended staffing model works really well too, to have, those experienced DOE teachers and younger, newer teaching artists and people from the community. I think it's just always been a really nice model for us.
That's good. That's good. So when you say the blended teaching model, for those people who may not know it, I think part of what you're talking about is you'll run the program in the school, but you'll use teachers from the school?
So part of our staffing, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. So we'll all of our programs are run out of school buildings. So they're all located in schools, and the staff is a blend of some folks from the school teachers, also paraprofessionals, school aides, other folks from the school communities. We hire parents if they're interested, other folks from the surrounding areas, and then others that other community staff, CBO staff, who we recruit and bring on board. And that can be anyone from, a college student, looking for a part-time job with children, to someone who's building toward a career in education, or, as I mentioned, teaching artists,
freelancer.
A local dancer who's interested in teaching a ballet class with us, a local actor looking to teach musical theater. That's very, very common in our programs. And that blend between CBO staff and school staff helps to create that kind of seamless connection between our program and the school day. Historically, after school programs were really a separate piece from the school day. And we found over the years that just doesn't work as well. We really get the most out of the children can get the most out of the program, and it can develop and flourish so much more when we're working closely with the school to understand their needs, understand their approach, and align to that, so that there is this seamless connection for the kids and this consistency in what they're learning. Yeah.
Yes. There is that moment when the kids see somebody coming in that they know they're seeing once a week for an hour, and in their mind, whether they're conscious of it or not, they're like, well, they don't know the school rules really, and I can probably get away with this and that. But in the model that you're talking about, that's not the case. So.
Absolutely. We'll often do collaborative training. So our school partners have been so wonderful to invite our community staff into their professional development sessions that they're running with their teams, so that our staff can do just that, be well versed on the terminology that the teachers are using, the curriculum that they're studying, so that they can align and also complement, help fill in gaps where there are gaps, and fulfill needs where we see them. So absolutely, that it really just helps to kind of make us one beautiful family, and creates a much stronger product for the kids.
That's so good. So I think it's time for me to close my window. I'm a block from my house, so hang on. There we go. But my question for you is, we all get sort of in our own focus. So I know NIA is a great partner, but I don't really know what else do you provide for the kids after school in the programs that we do, robotics or coding? What else do you do?
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that for us, it is definitely a really well-rounded program. So it's not just an academic support program, and it's not just a sports program. It's not just an arts program. It's all of those things and more. And I think that we really try to both incorporate the voice and choice of the students within the schedule of the program, particularly at the middle school level. And so that can result in a lot of really interesting things, whether it's like a cooking club or a comic book club, or a certain kind of gaming club. We've done filmmaking, we've done just a million different things. And I think that uniqueness, and I think also the uniqueness of our different program directors, and the fact that we give them a certain amount of autonomy and leeway in crafting the way they want to shape their program based on what they know about the school community. What does, the school administration and the teachers want and bring to the situation? What do the families want? What do the kids want? And just what's going to keep the kids engaged and excited and coming back and really feeling connected and valued in the program. And I think that all of those kinds of things. I mean, we do different types of leadership activities and community building activities. We have even a lot of intramural sporting events between our programs. We've tried to do just different large scale things as well to help the kids connect to kids in other NIA after school programs.
Oh, that's a really nice idea.
Yeah. So one other thing we have coming up this spring is we're so excited to be going back to Luna Park as an end of school year celebration for all of our kids. So all of our middle school kids and some of our 4th and 5th graders are going to get to go to Luna Park for the day, for the morning. We're closing the park, and it's going to just be all NIA kids. And I think that that's just the kind of thing that we like to bring them all together sometimes, because I think that it's, they're part of something larger. And at least for us, I think that that's a really special element of it.
Wow, that's great. That's great. So tell us one more time about your fundraiser coming up.
Yeah, sure. So it's our second annual NIA 5K event, and we're really—
So it's a running event.
Yes, it's a run and walk. So it's only 5K, which is really like 3 miles. So you can do it. We planned it for May because the weather, we're hoping by the end of this month, is going to be really gorgeous. And it's a long shore road, like along the waterfront Bay Ridge. We have permits for blocking off a certain area. And so it's going to just be a really nice, relaxed time. We're going to have music down by the pier. It's starting and ending at the 69th Street Pier. So if people want to come out to the pier to just stop by, say hello, check it out. It's going to be a beautiful spot and a really nice day for everybody to get together. So we really hope to have a lot of community members turn out. So it's both a fundraiser and a fun community event. It's a time for our families to come and get together, just staff and people who support us, just anyone who wants to come. We're really excited to be hosting this year in person.
That's great. So I might be a little behind the times, but is this the kind of thing where somebody who decides to join will go around to their friends and say, will you sponsor me?
Yes,
so
absolutely.
Explain how that works?
We are accepting donations. There are teams, so you can sign up, you can register, and then you can create a team. So you can have your friends, family, anyone who's interested, be a sponsor for your team. We're even doing fundraiser prizes. So we have top runner prizes and also some top fundraiser prizes. So that's going to be really fun. So we're really excited about all of this, and we hope that people will join us.
Great. I might have to.
I think you should.
So
we'd love that. Thank you, Laura.
Sure. I think that, do you have any other thing that you would like our audience to be aware of, or anything that we might not have covered that we wanted to cover?
No, I mean, I think that we just also want to say thank you for inviting us here today, and just how much we appreciate having Robofund as a partner. You've been an amazing partnership over the years. We love collaborating with you, and having you involved in our programs has been great for our kids. They love coding and Lego robotics and all of those things. So it's really a fun STEM element that our kids can enjoy. So thanks so much for your partnership and for the conversation today.
Oh, well, it's absolutely my pleasure. So if somebody wants to just generally learn more about NIA, do you have the ability to type that in? to the
Oh
chat?
yeah, absolutely. All right, I should. Hold on, let me.
All right.
Let's
So if you're interested, Sarah's going to type that in, or she'll put it in the private chat and I'll put it in there.
All right, that sounds good.
For those of you interested in Robofund, again, go to robofund.org, and we're at 102nd and Broadway, and we're signing up for summer camp. But if you're watching this in Staten Island or in Brooklyn or Queens, and it's like, I'm not dragging my kid in, talk to us. Go to our website and send us a note saying, I'd love a camp or I'd love a program in my school, and we will work with you. Again, the programs that we offer are coding, robotics, coding both in a language called Scratch and in Python. We're starting Python classes 5th through 8th grade, and I've been writing the curriculum with some of my teachers. We also do animation programs, and we also do Minecraft and circuitry. So it's not just like messing around in Minecraft, but it's actually going into a mode called Redstone where you build things, but then we actually make the things out of paper and circuits and resistors so that you're making a little model of what you might have made on Minecraft. So we're at robofund.org, and we look forward to being in touch, Sarah and Annette, and thank you again for your time.
Thank you so much, Laura. Have a great day.